new Skillet music out, unpopular. Oh man, another new single right now, All That Matters. New album coming out November 1st, Revolution. God, it's good to be a Skillet fan right now, man.
That's awful kind. Thanks very much. Yeah, we're excited about the new music.
I've listened to the record. Um, Obviously, I've been a fan since the late '90s, early 2000s. This is one of my favorite Skillet albums you guys have put out. I love the fact that even 12 albums in, you guys still find a way to make new sounding music. No two records sound the same. You always sound bigger every record, but it still sounds like Skillet. Is that getting harder to do the longer you get into your career to make new music that sounds different and just to not
Mm,
sound the same, or does it get easier the further you go?
right. Well, first of all, that's so very encouraging, very kind words. Thank you so much. I mean, we are super excited about the record, and I have to say, I kind of felt similarly. It's tough when you're making the albums because you always like your songs, and it's where your headspace was at, and you wrote something you believed in. But I said to my wife Corey, I was like, maybe I'm crazy, but I think this is one of our best records. The songs are really catchy. They're really easy to like.
Yeah.
And I think it's a poignant album lyrically. It's very, I think everybody can relate to this. I think whatever political spectrum you're on, religious, spirituality, whatever, I think you're going to find that you relate to the record. It's a very inspiring album. I think for us, it was kind of fun because this is our first record we made independently. So I didn't have to have because we were on Atlantic Records for 20 years, had a great relationship, made I think good records and loved working with the people there. But it was just time to try something new. And I think that what it did, it gave us this artistic freedom to just be like, that's what I want to do. Try it. I love it. Move on, without having to have 10 other people go, yes, no, maybe try this, try that. And I think because of that, you got a real authentic Skillet record, sort of like unfiltered. You know what I mean? For better or for worse, we'll see. But I think it's unfiltered without everybody else's stuff. And I think it made it fresh, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about it is it's like you for the last definitely 4 or 5 years definitely never shied away from being vocal about your just your personal beliefs and how you feel about where we're at socially. And personally, like I may be on the complete different end of the spectrum from how you feel about things politically, religiously, or whatnot. I personally don't agree with a lot, but the music, it's very obvious how you feel, but it doesn't alienate anybody at all, whether somebody agrees with you personally or not. Like songs like Not All That Matters or Revolution or Fire, like you can still love these songs no matter what, and you found a way to not alienate your listeners whether they agree with you or not. The Christian audience and the secular audience can fall in love with these songs. I mean, and you've got some anthems on here, man. Like I
That's
feel like I could
awesome.
be I feel like I could be in a stadium or an arena, like, and like if you guys do Winter Jam, you can just play this record from front to back and it fits, but you don't alienate anybody at the same time, man.
Mm,
And that's one thing that's really special and I've always loved about your music and your message. Anybody can relate to it no matter
mm. Well, that's great to hear. I'm really glad because obviously we are in a polarizing time. People are very passionate about lots of things. I get it. So am I.
what.
But I think that the revolution, because the album, of course, is called Revolution. The reason on the album cover, if people will notice, if they've seen it, there's a flag. It says Skillet. In the corner, I put a scripture reference that I love, called it's 1 Corinthians 13:13. It says, these things will remain: faith, hope, and love. The greatest is love. And that's why I wanted to put that on the album cover so that people understand that this revolution really is a revolution of love. It is not militaristic by any, it is not violent, God forbid. It's not violent, it's not
Yeah.
militaristic, it's not even political. It's a sort of, okay, wait a minute, our culture needs to be saved. What can we do? We got to have these conversations with people when we go, hey, we don't agree, but we can still love each other. We're going to be neighbors. Let's be neighbors. We can still have a cookout. Come over. Let's have some burgers. You have some fun, and you're living in this. We're living together. We got to figure it out. And I think that there's definitely a spiritual element to this, even though not everybody listening are religious or even spiritual, maybe, but there is something that I think can't be denied. And that is that we are in a dark time spiritually. People are depressed at the highest rates of teen suicide in recorded American history. Something's wrong. And I'm not saying it's one thing only. I'm sure there's lots of stuff. But what we definitely need is sort of a coming back together to get to where people can put their feet in solid ground. What can I put my feet in solid ground over? And so I think that that's a really good message on the record that is not polarizing. That's a unifying message. And then in general, just a message of like, don't give up on your life. Don't give up on loving people, even if those people don't love you back. You got to take control over some things. Don't let people ruin your life. Don't live in fear. There's a song called Ash in the Wind that I think is really good on the record. And that's that kind of song. It's saying, okay, you know what? This person or this thing, maybe it's a substance, I don't know, has been a very negative influence to my life. It lied to me, or she lied to me, or he lied to me, whatever it may be. Lied to me, told me I was no good, I wasn't worth it, you're never going to make it, your life isn't worth living, and I need that person out of my life. It's just a negative, toxic thing, and I will not listen to that voice any longer. It's the reason I never go on social media and read comments. I just don't. I'll read a few fan comments because I want to connect, and I see something, I go, I'm not going to spend my day doing this because there can be so much negativity. And I don't want to live my life based on the power of some other person's words. I ain't going to do it, man. No freaking way. And so people are going to hear messages like that on the album, I hope.
Yeah, I was listening to it, I think for the fifth time today already on my way into the city, and I just had that thing cranked
Awesome.
all the way up. And I don't know if the rest of the traffic on the interstate wanted to listen to Skillet, but man, they listened to it on the way here.
Woo!
And you know, man, man, songs like Not Afraid, like man, like that is a big song. Like just sonically, it is like I picture like 85,000 people in a stadium with you guys headlining, playing that song. You know,
Oh man, that'd be awesome. I could
I
I
know
could have fun doing that.
it'll happen.
Not a That'd be good. Not Afraid was one of the first songs we wrote for the album, and it reminded me a little bit of our Comatose record. If you remember songs like Whispers in the Dark,
Yeah.
um, and that is actually the reason I wanted Brian Howes, who is a producer. He produced the Comatose record,
Mhm.
and me and Brian wrote Awake and Alive together as well. I wanted him to produce it because I called him. I'm like, dude, I got this song called Not Afraid. It's a little bit of that throwback thing. I want this to sound like it's 2005 again, and have the strings and these guitar riffs. And I think my favorite guitar part on the whole album is the bridge of that song. It's just got that metal, that little it's almost like Avenged Sevenfold a little bit. And I wanted to have a little bit of that nostalgia and get a little bit raw because those are some raw lyrics. That's just like, man, this situation is bad, and I'm not going to let that situation or that person or that, again, that addiction, I am not going to let that rule my life. And I hope that's a message that people get because, man, I meet people so much of the time they're like, they say, John, your music is helping me in my recovery. And I say, how long? They say, I've been, 39 days sober. And I say, okay, keep listening to the music. Let's go for another 39 days and then for
Yeah.
another year and 39 more years. You can do it, man. I want people to have that. You can do it.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Like it's one song that really stands out that I'm really, really glad you put on the album because I'm also a parent, is Happy Wedding Day. Dude, I
All right.
bawled my eyes out when I listened to that song for the first time. I'm surprised you put it on the album. Was that something that you wanted to put on the album? Because
Right.
I'm glad you did because man, my daughter's across the street at the hospital right now recovering for surgery, and I just think about
Oh,
man, I just think about, when she gets older and gets married, like man, it just as a parent, man, that song hits so much, you know.
ah. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter. I hope that she's doing well and in recovery. I hope.
Yeah.
And thank you for the nice words. And funny enough, yeah. So for people that don't know, it's called Happy Wedding Day. Me and Corey, we have a daughter named Alex. She just got married this year, and so I had this idea for the song, and I wanted to sing it at her wedding, and I wrote it. And then I thought, there's no way I can sing it. I'm not going to make it through it, man. And so I decided not to sing it at the wedding. The day of the wedding, I woke up in the morning and I just had this feeling like you have to sing it. And I said, okay, I'm doing it. So I just showed up with an acoustic. It's like, I need somebody to plug, bring a microphone. And my daughter had never heard it. In fact, my wife, Corey, nobody had ever heard it. And sang it. And I just felt like, I think this is a special song. So I said to my manager, he came to the wedding. 2 days later, I called him. I said, okay, let's have a real talk. You're one of my best friends. You gotta tell me like it is. I am not objective with this song because it means too much to me. I said, but I think that it might be good. I think it might be good enough to record. What do you think? And I said, you can tell me if it's not. And he goes, oh, you have to record it. It's a must. And I said, okay, because there's a lot of people, as you said at the beginning, you've been with us since the late '90s. A lot of people have, and they remember when me and Corey were first married, and they remember when my daughter Alex was born, and they saw the
Yes.
the videos on the road of my kids. My kids playing one of the funniest
Yeah.
most popular videos was 2006 or 7 or 8. I don't, maybe 9 or 10. No, 2009, playing Foursquare with Corey Taylor and Stone Sour and Hailstorm, and my daughter, they were playing Foursquare and Barbie dolls and all sorts of stuff. And now, oh my gosh, she's getting married. And I think it's important because I think Skillet fans, they pick up on without being cheesy, they pick up on the family nature of Skillet. Me and Corey are married. We do it as a team. The whole band is very tight. People pick up on the fact that it's a community, and Skillet fans feel like a community. So I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a special song.
Absolutely. And yeah, you are my daughter's favorite band. For her birthday a few years ago, she wanted to go to Winter Jam to see
Oh,
Skillet.
oh,
And then last year, Indiana State Fair, she wanted to go to see Skillet. She's seen you 3 times and she's only 12. So
oh, that's
you
so
are her
nice.
favorite band. So but man, I'm gonna close with one really simple question. Have you had the Dr. Pepper beef jerky yet?
Oh gosh, no, I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Oh, they've got yes. If they got the jerky sticks, it's yes. It
So,
is good.
there needs to be, man, if only Randy Savage was still here to do a new special thing for those sticks,
Oh, I'm a wrestling fan.
23 flavors, yeah.
Step into it. Oh yeah, dig it. You
20,
know,
23 flavors, I got you. Yeah, we need something.
man, dude. Thank you for doing this, and I tell you this a lot, man. But thank you for what you do, for still doing it, for your music, and thank you for being one of the bands that helped me through some of the hardest times, and for your music really saving my life so many times.
Wow,
Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you
amazing.
guys for I think the 35th time in Chicago next week.
Woo! Let's do
Cannot
it.
cannot wait. You guys, Seether, Tim Montana, Royal Lynn, man.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
god. I can't wait to see this lineup, man. You guys have got to be having a blast on this tour so far.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's very kind, Reggie. It really means the world to me. I'll pass that along to the band when we go do this meet and greet. But we really are having a great tour. It just started. Um,
Yeah.
this is what's crazy. We haven't toured with Seether since 2008. I mean, time goes so fast, and it's nuts because it doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's just the way it is. And I was talking to Seether today, I was the drummer. I was like, we are so blessed. We are still playing music. I mean, it's the best job in the world, you know, and it's great to be out with people that we get along with, and the fans coming. It means a lot to everybody. So people come out, see the tour, and make sure you pre-order the record. I think people are going to love it. I sure hope they like it as much as I think they will. It's called Revolution, and go check it out.
It is so good, man. You guys nailed it once again, and man, I'll see you in just about 5, 6 days, man. I can't wait.
I look forward to it. Thanks for doing this and helping get the word out. I appreciate it.
Man, thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Have a great tour. We'll see you soon.